Hello, and I am back with just a little bit of a kind of a side video. It's been a couple months since I've posted anything with good old Violet here, and there's a couple reasons for that. Primarily, I had a bunch of videos recorded, ready to upload, and then my apartment got broken into, and my PS4, along with a bunch of other things, were stolen. I have since replaced a good deal of them, but at the time I just stopped recording a lot of this, just because I really wasn't in the mood, to be honest. And what time I was spending in Eorzea, I was spending playing on my main. Then the month of December rolled around, and my life is not my own. In the month of December, I am a singer. One of my other part-time vices is that I sing a great deal with the Indianapolis Symphonic Choir, and I am a choir director at my church. So the month of December, as you can imagine, for a person in that position, doesn't leave you with a lot of time. So I haven't really been able to spend a lot of time gaming, and what time I have been spending has been spending doing other things, and mainly playing on my main. But we're in the middle of a seasonal event, and one very appropriate to my December activities. So I decided to do a little, I decided I definitely wanted to play through these events with Violet. I've already played them on my main, and I thought I might record them and just let anybody who actually is watching these videos know what's going on. I do intend to continue recording with Violet. My plan is to be through all of the level 70 content, including the stuff to be released in patch 4.5 in a few weeks, and basically everything up to the release of the next major expansion before the next major expansion hits. So I intend to have all the level 70 content, with the probable exception of the main raids, though I may even record some of those. But I intend to have all that done by the end of, basically by, I think about June is probably when the next expansion is going to drop. We don't have a date on that yet, but that would be my best guess. But the point is, I plan to have everything done by then. I'm going to have to do a lot of HUD adjustments while I'm playing this, because this is the first time I've played Violet since I've replaced my PS4, and all of my settings were lost. So I've had to completely reconfigure the character. So anyway, this is the Starlight Celebration event. It starts here at Maetro's Amphitheater. Not so Silent Night. Fun fact, for those of you who did not know this year marks the 200th anniversary of the writing and first singing of Silent Night. This is a very simple quest, but I thought so appropriate to my usual holiday activities that I had to run through it. And I'm running through it, as you can see, not as a summoner, because I want to get there's a little bit of XP that can be gained, and I can't gain anything at level 70. Alright, where the heck am I going? Oh yeah. Again, I already did this on my main, but I want to get the rewards on this character too. Because I've already read all the dialogue, I may be skipping through it quickly. If you want to read it, you can feel free to pause the video, because I'm probably going to not spend too much time on it, I'm afraid. So the Starlight Celebration is going to be graced with the voices of these three singers. And we have a piece of music that we're going to be performing for, or they're going to be, or they want to perform for this particular Starlight Celebration. The problem is, this is not meant to be sung by three tenors. It's meant to be sung by a basically a four-part mixed quartet. Now, if it were me, I'd find a way to make it work. But instead of doing that, we're going to try to find singers that can actually sing the four parts as written. And the top option is always the best option. Yes, you! Even though you're not voice acted and I cannot tell what part you would actually sing, I'm convinced that you're going to be our alto. But, woe betide, none of these three sing bass, so we need to find one. Meanwhile, we better recruit the people we're supposed to be recruiting. Alright. I am first going to go to Olda. No. Hey, don't be an idiot, Nate. You want to go to the Weaver's Guild. So, in case you weren't reading the text, the Reader's Digest version is where they've been sent, as in all of these seasonal events, on a wild goose chase all around the world to get stuff for the celebration. In this case, I'm coming here to the Weaver's Guild to pick up the outfits, the choir robes, basically, for this particular celebration. And now I'm going to go back to Gridania. Because it's actually a little quicker to go to Ul'dah first and then come back to New Gridania, because the Carpenter's Guild happens to be very close to the Aetheryte. And I'm going to the Carpenter's Guild to pick up a conductor's baton. A simple twig does not suffice as a conductor's baton. Alright, so once I have those things, I go back to the Maetro's amphitheater. Oh, and of course the organizer of the whole event is really not clear what's going on, even though we've made her our soprano. Oh, by the way, you're singing with us. Reminds me of my grandmother. She used to do that to me all the time. Oh, by the way, I'm glad you're here, Nate. You're singing with us today. Okay. What are we singing? How long do I have to learn it? 5 minutes? Okay. So, in other words, don't you dare say that this is an unrealistic scenario. I have lived it. Oh, and by the way, there's a Rogadin. Of course he's going to be our base. For those of you who have been following Final Fantasy XIV news while this is all going on, we're looking at the all but confirmed rumor that Viera are going to be a playable race starting in 5.0. And the question has been asked to me by my free company mates, i.e. my brother and my sister-in-law, whether I would be Fantasiaing any of my characters into a Viera. My answer is, I haven't decided yet. Who knows, in about 6 months' time, Violet may find herself with some bunny ears. But I have not decided at this time. Personally, I think Violet's pretty dang cute as an Aura, so I may just leave her as is. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be the director. And again, as I mentioned earlier in this video, I am sort of a choir director in real life, only for a couple of years, and I'm definitely still learning the ropes, as it were. But yes, I do have real-world experience directing a choir. So I thought that being able to play a choir director in this particular event was highly entertaining, though I'll give you a warning. This little mini-game is really nothing like actually directing a choir, but it's fun, so we're going to do it. Now, when you talk to him for the repeatable quest here, there are actually two options. The Saturnine Starlight Celebrant is the easy version of the song, which is worth 2 certificates, and the Splendiferous Starlight Celebrant is for the harder mode, which is worth 3. I'm really only worried about getting 5 tokens to pick up the Orchestrion role, so I'm going to play each one once. we'll start with the easy one. Now, this is a basic rhythm game. You simply push a button at the appropriate time. Basically, when the large diamond zooms into the small diamond for the blue one, if it's the yellow one, you do that and then just keep mashing the button to get as many points as possible. Try not to miss too many times, and you'll get through. And all you have to do is clear it to get the all you have to do is clear it to get the certificates. So just have a finger on the button of your choice and have at thee. Here we go. That's the best I've ever done on that. It's an interesting piece. I don't know if I'm going to incorporate it into my repertoire anytime soon, but it works. So that was the easy version. I'll turn that in. Yay! And oh, we're going to do it again. Yes, we are. I'm going to pick up my 2 certificates. And then I'm going to take the quest on again. The rules are the same, it's just a little tougher this time. This piece is kind of growing on me. Anyhow, that's all I'm going to do with that, because that's all the tokens that I want. Again, all you got to do is pass, and all you have to do is pass is to not miss 10 notes. So it's fairly easy to grind whatever items, foodstuffs, decorations you want. And I'm going to better turn this in while I'm thinking about it. Alright, and then there's a follow-up. Basically, the 2 members of that vocal group that weren't singing in the quartet are giving out gifts, but oh no, they've run out. And there are these poor little kids who aren't going to get their gifts, and they're not happy. And the one girl is particularly unhappy because she thinks that it's because she's been a bad girl. And so she runs off. And there's our friend Godbert Vanderville. Oh, I'm sorry, the Saint of Nemea. But come on, he's totally Godbert Vanderville. If you played any events in the Hildebrand storyline or in the Mandeville Gold Saucer, you've met Godbert Vanderville before, and that is Godbert Vanderville. So he's gonna make sure the other kids get presents, because he's awesome, and now I'm gonna go hunt down that little girl that ran away. And this particular bard saw her go past. He's like, oh yeah, I kind of know where that is. Oh, I forget where exactly I need to go. I'll just go this way. But yeah, one little piece of just general advice: whenever you're playing a seasonal event, just make sure you're playing with a character that, or with a class that isn't at level 70, so you can just get at least a smidgen of experience. It won't be much. So I mean, if you don't have anybody between 15 and 70, just run it with a level 70 character. It's not that big of a deal. But if you do have somebody that you're still trying to level up, it's not a bad idea to just get them a few extra XP. So I'm following the girl's trail, and there she is. And again, I'm just going to quickly move through this cutscene. You can stop and read the stuff if you'd like. But here's the Reader's Digest version. Basically, this little girl, her father is one of the wood whalers, or wood wallers, I forget that. Basically, the guards of the town, and he's always busy. And he spent some time with her at the market, and there was like a hairpin that she wanted, and he said like next time, and she thought he was just blowing her off, and so she got mad, said I hate you, ran away, and now she's not getting a present from the saint, and she thinks it's because she yelled at her dad. But we're gonna determine pretty soon that actually that's not the way it worked. So our merchant friend, who was singing in the choir and now is decked out in that quite lovely pink gown, and I love her monocle. And she's gonna give the girl her present, and lo and behold, it's the very pin that she wanted! And this is basically what happened. So the father had already bought her the pin, and so when she asked her father about it, he said next time, because he knew he'd already bought it for her and was going to give it to her as a present, and she misunderstood, and same old story, same old song. It's happened in about every movie and every video game ever, this sort of thing. So yeah, nothing particularly new and adventurous, but it's nice that this normally cutthroat merchant is being a really nice lady. But of course, in being a really nice lady, she's securing business from both father and daughter in the future, which is the way a good business person should do. She's being very kind and very shrewd at the same time. This is why I love the free market. And all's well that ends well, as they say. The Starlight Celebration is a rousing success once again. The little girl got her present. The father and daughter are reconciling. The merchant is securing her business. Everybody got something out of this. But what did Violet get out of this? Besides some additional exercise running around the whole of Eorzea, and the opportunity to direct a choir, which, again, speaking from personal experience, is a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoy it. And so I was so happy that I got to have one of my outside of Eorzea passions enter into my my Eorzea gaming. So there's that, and of course, there's the seasonal outfit, which is a set of choir robes. Which I may work up a glamour for little old Violet based on the choir robe. But that will be for another day. I'll pick up my items, grab my... You know, I never did find out. Okay, no, there is not a title associated with the season. Sometimes there are titles associated with seasonal events. This time there isn't. And one last thing to show you. Right here is where the merchant is in the very unlikely event that you're actually watching this video while this event is still up. And I want to buy that. So there we go. I've got the things I really cared about. The seasonal outfit and the orchestrion roll. And that's all. That's gonna be it for Violet for now. I promise I am going to get back to recording more stuff. I want to get through all the level 70 stuff eventually. I may get a video or two in before the release of patch 4.5. Maybe not. 4.5 Blue Mage comes out, and I'm probably going to be spending some time on that, but who knows? Maybe I may show off some Blue Mage with good old Violet. But until that time, it was good to play with her again, and until the next time, have a wonderful day.